All you can do is jump out and say boo and holler, and we gonna kill your family. You ain't killing them niggas. I know that ain't nobody got shot 6 times, close range, ain't no bullet hit nothing, stabbed 3 times with an army knife at the same time, and all of that.
Look, no major organs and no major
nothing
arteries.
to hit at all. I said, man, that's just like, see, one good thing about the Iranians, they told me some of the tricks they use, like some of the big ulama, that wasn't big ulama, what they do is, you know, they torture a lot, most people. So they have one guy go in, and he hollering like they torturing him. They're just giving them operations, scratching him up a lot real. He's a snitch. He's gonna be big in the organization. And you don't be getting tortured. They just scratching it, make it look real bad. So when he go back with the brothers, oh, they tortured the brother pretty bad, but I held on. They got him scheduled to be big. They do that stuff all the time. So can't nobody use no medical, nothing on me about what the police, hey, they think way ahead on foolishness. Yeah, so some of the big ulama was tattletales. Rafsanjani is one of them. Rafsanjani comes from a rich family. That was his job all along. He worked closely with Imam. He worked closely with the Raqqa. That was his job. That was his job from Jump Street. As soon as he got in a position, he started manipulating, stealing, just like him. That's why we call him Muawiyah Johnny. Just like Muawiyah. Muawiyah Johnny. From a rich family and slick. Not stupid like his son Yazid. He was nickels, he's slick as his grease light. Okay, I'm trying to speed it up. So staying focused in our movement, judicial review, we go over our stuff. We got the government boxed in. They can't do nothing. They got too many friends, too many relatives. And here's the key. I was telling y'all about how I became a dope dealer. Now I've hinted around the names. Now I'll mention the names specifically. In 1966, it was my best friend, George Cooper, and Jesse Lee, that turned me out to dealing drugs. What did they do? They borrowed $200. I was the only one in the neighborhood that saved money. And later they gave me $200 back, but they gave me about $400 extra of weed. And big bags. Instead of, if you bought a matchbox for $5 and a half a can with 3 matchboxes for $10, they gave me half a cans only with 4 matchboxes in them. And I kept that up, giving people more, at least 25% more than what you need, what you're supposed to get, and at a less price. And so they said, we're just giving this to you. They gave it to me. And I was a good citizen. I didn't smoke no dope. I just went to work and partied, had a good time, and took everybody in carloads over to the temple. But the police, Muhammad Al-Asi said it downstairs. He said they monitor your neighborhood and they identify leaders before you do. He didn't think I was paying attention, but I knew it all. I've been knowing it for decades. They monitor the community. They identify potential leaders before the niggas do. And try to send them off to the university, buy them off. Can't do that. Send them into selling dope. That's what my friends did for me. But you know what? I thank the white man and I thank my friends. I have nothing against them. Well, they could pay me back my $200,000 when I brought them down to South America and made them rich. But I mean, when I gave all that up, I was around, well, I'm not rich, but I had a few dollars. Anyway, so, you know, it's strange, though, you tell the truth. If you don't never go broke, that's not bad. With all of this stuff, it breaks everybody else in 2 weeks. Don't nobody have this much so-called bad luck, and they don't go broke, they don't go crazy, they don't go nothing. That's a miracle. That's from the training. This is, if we were saying this is the first part of the mission, that's what it was to do. To learn and to adapt, adjust, and then teach everybody what to do in this session. And that's exactly what we're doing. Not will do, we've already done that. All this stuff is already done. We done already lasted, we done already Rayfield and sold wolf tickets and urinated in the cracker's face. Yes, we have. We've done it right there on these things. Now we're going to do a big follow-up to find out what they've been, you know, they've been playing little games. We'll do that, worry about that next week. For this week, and I move toward a close, we have been as successful as anybody could be or should be dealing with what we're doing. So, as we go into the next stage, the Muslim Parliament for North America is just training, just like all the other stuff was. Because we believe that we will be around during the time of this transition. Okay, we could talk about big future terms, but remember, the trend had kicked in. America's already going downhill. You don't know whether it'll stall or whether it'll accelerate. Usually when you start going down, you pick up speed.
Inertia.
And there's no way to come out of it. There's no economic way they can come out of it. There's no military way they can come out of it. In everything they do, militarily sets somebody up to have a good time. They in Afghanistan, what is it, 16 years?
16 years.
Good God Almighty. That's 4 World War IIs.
And they're talking about they don't see how they can win. They say that themselves.
Yep, they can't win, they can't leave. This is a trap, man. This is the way we got the white man. The immigrants, he trapped himself over there and he trapped himself with us. We're going to slap the urine out of that nigga. It haven't happened. Right? We haven't had no sleepless nights, and they can't upset us, and they cannot divert us. And half the stuff we have told the people right there on this gadget, right? And this forecasting. So people can't say, I didn't hear it, I don't know what he means, I'm ambiguous. Well, you can be ambiguous all you want. You'll be in there ambiguous with the old euro. Let me see. So we're staying focused. Forget about X, Y's and all that. But the dirty white man, see the dirty white man, I gotta go with this, I want to shut up, but look, we're on a roll. You know the first cases I got, they didn't ever bust me doing anything. I'm in my apartment, and I big picture window, I see 3 white men coming up. So I closed my door out the side window. You know what they said? We ain't looked in a mailbox. And it's your mailbox. Therefore, we're going to search your apartment. They have probable cause. Marijuana, they done brought, you know, the mailbox by the doors. Dope probably wasn't even mine. Oh, what that dope do with it? And the devil wasn't mine. I saw, you know, you got a picture of the parking lot and everything looking through your window. I see 3 white men coming up here with suits on. And guess who they was? One was a state narcotics, the other's the vice squad for Oakland, and the other's a federal agent. All three of them happened to stroll up to my house and go in the mailbox and then search my house. And you know what they're talking about? This one is different. You know, they see bank books, and they see I live an organized life, and they see the way I'm built, and I'm lifting weights and all that. You know what I mean? They said, this one is different. So that time, that's when they selected me. Remember, they'd already set me up. They'd already got my friends to give me some dope. After they gave me $400 worth of marijuana in those days, I said, well, what can I get some more of this now? Right? I got $400 and I want to buy some marijuana. Oh, we don't know. So I called my friend in LA. I called the wife. I said, y'all got any marijuana? Yeah, you can come down here and get some. So I used to go to LA all the time. And I'd come back to Oakland in a few months. I was wealthy, selling marijuana. Big fat bags, you know, twice, you know.
I wish I had known you back then.
No, but I mean, well, remember, I started selling dope because I wanted people to be high. The reason I teach Islam is so people will be happy. You see what I mean? So if they say, well, you can make more money this way, I said, I didn't start this to make money. Well, you make more money if you cut the dope more. I want people to be high. They gonna be as high? No, they won't be as high. Well, I don't know. What am I doing? Right? It's the reason why you do stuff. That's why you can't fail. That's why you can't lose. Okay. So they've had no evolution, but we have. The other thing is, you study yourself. I notice everywhere I went, everywhere I go, whatever it is, you know, you come up to be not the best, but you come up to be in the top echelon. Yeah, we're just lifting weights. Well, you know, may not be the strongest guy, but you're on the strongest team. You know, in marathoning, I couldn't run as fast as the white boys, but I could run longer. And so I was the anchor in the team. In the penitentiary, we had a runner school. You know, I still got my jersey things and my numbers and the papers, Santa Barbara, your names in America. You know, so, and I trained with sweat gear and heavy boots and everything, so when we get out on the road with running shoes on and no sweat gear, you know, actually one time I kind of hurt the girls' feelings because we had one marathon and you know, they kind of thin, so they get, after about 15 miles, they're starting to lose a lot of liquid and everything. But at 17 miles, I'm feeling juiced up. I done run off all the excess I'm carrying. And we run at a certain pace, you know, our training pace. So I just took off. They couldn't keep up and they just pulled out at 17, 18. But at 18 miles, that's when I feel good because long range, not a short range, you know. Not only in training, but in life, protracted struggle. With everybody else, the speeders is getting tired, you just get warmed up. So I thank my friends for setting me up and later on for double crosses. All of that was wonderful. The timing is beautiful. Everything that ever happened because of the past history, whether it's Copenhagen, whether it's South America. I won't have time to talk about the assassinations in 1970, the attempts. But thank God for all of that. And I think we won't talk about it as a time. and all that. They just don't count. I would not want to be in any situation where I didn't count.
A big fat zero.
A zero, that's beautiful. But we're gonna help them because that's what our job is. To help the downtrodden, the shut in, the shut out, the sick and the infirm, the crazy people. They're crazy. If they thought they could move from a janitor to challenge a nigga that had more money than anybody, the reason they had more fights all the time, no holds bars fight. You in the ring with the white man, you can't get out of the ring. But they ain't never had no fight. They've never even challenged. None of them. Jahari Abdul-Malik Ali, they never challenged them. They never had a fight. Muhammad al-Asi, he ain't never challenged the system. He just talks, right? He never had no fight. He never had to sit back and come up with a scheme. Yeah, you mess with me, crap. Never. None of them. Siraj, I don't think Siraj ever even been arrested. He didn't testify a lot. The Sheikh Abdul Rahman said that people could rob banks. Yes, he did. Why you tell on the man? Because I gave my word. I swore on the Bible. So you swore on the Bible, you have to tell everybody. Anyway, last thing is the Negroes and their cockamamie stories. Islamic Republic of New Africa. This is one of the, this was back in the mid-80s. The Negroes, this is a diversion. This language should be appealing to the Islamic Republic. So these Negroes concoct this book, The Force of Islam, that comes from one of our flyers. They even got one of our flyers in here, right? You can tell it's our flyer. You've seen these type of flyers before. And it has the same. The true Islam, the struggle continues, la lucha continua. And then they got Bible, but you can tell that's our flyer from Oakland. Okay? But these Negroes is the police. So they want Iran, New York, to distribute these after they spent $7,000 on printing them. So I got to New York. I said, what do you think about this book? Should we print it? I said, where did you get this one? Well, we printed some, we spent $7,000 on it. I said, this crap. No, it's fine. I said, this is a takeoff. Islamic Republic of New Africa. The Republic of New Africa. The Negroes. Man, there's been so many oogly moments. You just wouldn't believe it. As you tell this whole picture. Front page, even then, just black hair, just black as a kid. So people have been paying attention. They said, this is center page here. This is back in '89, my goodness. Al-Hajj Malik Shabal's most honorable black leader in the U.S. But the black people here, they haven't read this, they don't ever say, come talk about Malcolm. And down here it talks about the national Negro. And we don't call them exactly a police, but it was just about, what is your opinion about the national Negro? I put it this way. We always try to leave the door open so that anyone that is misguided may come to right guidance. Now remember in America, when you hear somebody's name And see, their pictures always in the newspaper. If you hear the names of Jesse Jackson, Farrakhan, and people like that, you can be sure that they are there for a reason. There are many Muslims in America who can speak as well, and anybody can, but they will never be seen on television or heard on the radio. And I just said that. I didn't say he was a police. Education. Department of Political Science, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaire. A paper presented at the National Seminar on Current Initiatives in the Middle East, Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, Lagos. So I got a chance to listen to all these lectures, and they would put up, when you would attend these international conferences, especially with Dr. Siddiqui, you had to present a paper. Hajj operation in Nigeria, University of Bura, biochemistry. Another beautiful article that is secularism and its impact on Hajj operations in Nigeria. The point I'm making is about education. I've attended conferences, meetings, and studies with the best scholars in the world and listened to them, and they listened to me. I'm not saying we always got more attention than they did, but they sure could educate you. Future of Haramain, Future of Haramain, Political Power of Islam, Dr. Khalid Siddiqui, International Hajj Seminar, that's way back in 82. This one is 88. Man, these are beautiful stuff. The point I'm making is we don't have to be Dr. Tinkuku Hassan Muhammad Bitiru. Future of Haramain, that's 88. All these lectures, civilizational role of Hajj, what does Hajj play in the civil? All of these, I got a chance, the Sokoto Caliphate in West Africa, 19th century model state policy, literally any kind of subject, listen to a few of them, I don't want to waste your time. So, we got a chance to meet the people, listen to them, and share. So I would say I have had the best education that you could get, because I wasn't in the hallway and out in the back. I might do it a little bit down, because they just have a teenager giving a talk, and all he can talk about is pimples and stuff. But if they got somebody there, you know, throwing down, I'm going to listen, and I'm going to collect or tape or videotape. So that is what we've been dealing with all this time. So nobody can say that we have, when they talk about ulama, they said the ulama spent many years studying or something, okay? So I've spent 30 or 40 years studying. This is deep here. September 19th. Islamic Awakening, harbinger of new Middle East and Iran. Then we got back here. U.S. Israel cannot stop better than Muslim uprising, Imam abdul-alim Musa. This one we talk about the new growing development in the U.S. And we say everybody gonna be standing up. This is the 19th. Can you imagine one day the Wall Street movement started September the 17th. The same year. We didn't know about it, but we told them it's on Press TV. And now that's getting ready to jump off. And the school, not the school, street prayer, he said, arrogantly, some people are kind of sensitive or paranoid about certain things. And 2 days later, he was choking on what he said. They said, well, I'm telling you, and people always stop. Dear believers, we thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments about anything?
No one had any questions on that.
Oh, that's okay. Go ahead. What's the question?
Oh, no one had any questions there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't have any questions.
Well, alhamdulillah, any questions from us? Well, dear believers, we're on a roll. So buckle your seatbelts. We're on the roll on this one, and that's just the way that is. Yeah, this one is, and poor Sam, just too bad. They put that fool there. You know, I don't know who Trump is, but he just don't seem like a president, even of the United. He seems like a fool. He don't have no place. And you see him when he go into the Congress, those conferences, he don't know what to do. At least this time he didn't push nobody out of the way and got in front. You know, so at least that.
He didn't know anything about protocol.
He don't know nothing about it. He don't know. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
If we've had a model already of the Majlis from in Britain, why haven't the Muslims here or anywhere else tried to follow that particular model?
Okay, that was AMC used to talk about it. You remember Alan Moody? I don't know if you remember Alan Moody, AMC. But see, that move from talking to action, they have a governing body. Muhammad al-Asi, the brothers in South Africa, the Canadian Muslims, all of them broke up the model because it worked. And they took us back to talk. You see what I mean? You think about Crescent, it's talk. Who needs to analyze where are we at now? With all the bombs going off, everybody knows who the Saudis are now. Everybody knows who the snitches are. You don't need, the white folks say that on the TV, on their own TV, right? We don't need to analyze. We need to implement programs. That's why we don't hear any, nobody wants to do it because they know that to implement it is against the wishes of the system. And that's why we have to do it. See, remember, now we knew what to do all along, but we had to get ourselves ready for it, you know. And we had to engineer the environment. See, over the years, all of these tapes and CDs, if you remember 15 years ago, we was talking about an air war and all that stuff. Okay. We had to start with the Abdul-Maliks, the Sirajas. We had to let them live out that illusion. Remember, and I talked too, we talked about we would have to deliberate all of the issues on integration or what have you, that we would not swallow whole. I didn't say all of that, but I meant to. We would not swallow whole the integrationist line. And in any line we want to pursue, it would be deliberated. That's what a congressional group of people do, right? So we would deliberate, and ISNA would have to show why you want to kiss their behind. Well, it's the best policy, you don't get hurt too much. They would have to spell out, they would, you know, and, so we would get the opportunity to spell out history of America, what it is bound to do generally, and what it has done, and how accurate it has been on this. If you want to work within the system, show us some models. Did the Indians that cooperated on the reservation, how have they been treated? The Mexicans, New Mexico, Texas, California, how have they been treated? Okay, black people, right? So we don't need to analyze. But remember, even during the Black days, when we wanted to come to a conclusion and do some work, they would say, well, let's have a study on that. You know, that used to be to get out of the, we're going to do it, you right, man. We're going to have to appoint a committee, 1, 2, 3, 5. Y'all are committed to study, what did you just say? We're going to study integration or separation, but we're going to have a study on that while they keep doing what they do. You see what I mean? We don't do that. We have studied, and what makes our community unique, we have forecast. Modern example. When Rouhani won the thing, they kept talking about we're going to have more relation with the West, right? And all the Iranians jumping up and down, Uncle Tom Iranians jumping up and down on the road, right? In the street. About Rouhani wins the election. 2 days later, 2 days, Trump is in Saudi Arabia. He blames everything on Iran. And Saudi Arabia is the cleanest hands in the world. You see what I mean? This is not the first time with the 5+1. They negotiated that. I think it was a good job to negotiate. But they negotiated. They fulfilled all obligations. And the U.S. haven't fulfilled none. Right? And got other people scared that if we work with Iranians, we might put a freeze on them. So, the point I'm making is that the system itself will prevent itself from moving forward. And the Uncle Tom sellouts in Iran, they just get egg on their face every time they open their mouth. That's why as soon as Rouhani won, yes, we just happy to win, we're going to just be more open. And we thank Khatri, well, ain't nobody over here did nothing to y'all to stop you from working with nobody. And here come Don. The whole world's problem is Iran. I said, alhamdulillah. He's a wonderful man. You know what I mean? He's not going to allow you to humiliate your country. He ain't going to give you a chance. That's how beautiful it is. That's what's happening. So back to the original question, why, if everybody saw an example, a model, and Masjid Islamiyya fi Britannica, why they didn't follow it? Because they don't want to. Because it's against the West. And they don't have confidence. They did a generation ago, but they lost confidence in inviting America to Islam. They let the people blow up everything, blame it on them, and they don't feel courage to invite people to Islam. And the last thing, don't worry about them trying to hide us. Whatever shenanigans they do on these videos and say, I looked on that other day, and it said, no views on all the ones that had Dr. Kaleem Siddiqui. It said no views.
Oh, on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Oh, shit, that's something.
On the one where we popped when I pushed the phone, it said no views.
Okay.
I said, wait a minute, I have looked at them 3 times each myself.
Yeah, I've looked at it a couple times myself.
Well, later on it said 5 views for one, but they would say no views. Okay, so anyway, if there's no more questions, this is time to be sincere about our deen and confidence in it. The white man ain't gonna win this one. We can't. There's no, I mean, a miracle, yeah. But usually a miracle don't save the good folks. Miracles don't save the bad folks. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.